Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sunday Showcase. I'm Kyle Snow, and with me I have one of my usual co-hosts, Mr. Christopher Miller. How's it going, Chris?
It's going okay.
That's good. Or
How about you?
Okay, I'm pretty good. A little bit late. It's about 2:30 in the morning, so I think this is the latest start to a showcase we've ever done. But you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to go the distance. Like a witcher doing his trials. I'm ready to brave this task. Which is a coincidence because, Chris, we're playing Witcher 3.
Oh, that's not the game I put in.
Oh. Well, I just in post, so in the morning probably, brought it down so that everyone can very clearly see that that is the game that you put in. So...
No man, this is NHL.
Okay. Oh, you're in first-person perspective, and that guy's on the other team.
Yeah, man.
I see. I'm sorry.
Dude, that's Yager.
Yeah, so my bad. So when you start playing The Witcher, you'll see that guy looks exactly like Geralt.
Oh, okay. I don't even know who Geralt is.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just play some hockey. So, let's just get over here at center ice.
Yeah, the ceremonial...
Oh no.
God damn it, Chris. You've upset the referees. They're going to attack you now.
Don't be mad at me.
No, I think that was like the warning shot. Like, I think it was last time because you kept punching.
Yeah, I was
and then
punching
they're going to give you a
the air.
5-minute penalty. Yeah, but I think that it was like violent moves. Wait, are you kidding me? They're going to... Okay, you can't win this fight. This is the start of the episode. So, yeah, to... Full disclosure, we're not actually playing NHL. This is Witcher 3, which is a game that I have played a lot of. Alex has nearly platinumed, and I've watched a little bit of her doing that. And she's beaten both expansions. And Chris has played for, 3 or 4 hours now?
No.
Not even?
We're like maybe an hour and a half in.
Okay. Hour and a half in. So, why don't you get everyone up to speed on things that they may or may not need to know up until this point? I know that won't be time, but
I was gonna say, like, he dreams like 90% of what we've had
covered
happen.
so far. Yeah.
Basically, he's looking for his black-haired lady.
Yes.
And fast travel. And
yes, they do have fast travel.
Yeah, so we followed a man on a horse for a while. I forget his name. Starts with a V.
Vesemir?
We went to and then we went to a local bar. They sent us to this place here where guards like to kill me. And then I went to the officer, and he said, "Kill this griffin, and I'll give you the information you want." So we're gonna go kill the griffin.
So now you're gonna straight murk a griffin.
But first, we gotta get some info first on
Ask
the
hunter
griffin.
where he found the bodies. Ask the herbalist about Blackthorn. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but if you click the right stick, you can switch which of those objectives you're actively targeting if you want to do them in a different order. This is a fun tip from a veteran witcher like myself.
I mean, I'm always down for some veteran tips.
Yeah. Pro tips. Pro moves.
Why does he not have his sword out now?
I think you have to actively take it out. Because you have 2 different swords. Has he got into that at all yet?
No.
I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's right and left on the D-pad? It's been a long time since I played this game. Yeah, okay.
There you go.
So yeah, your silver sword is better against magical creatures, and your iron sword is better against man. So like, when you're fighting the griffin, you'll want to use that silver sword.
Monsters from the swamp. Folks said the road was fraught with peril, but I wouldn't listen. Got my comeuppance now.
Less moaning, more details. What happened, and how can I help?
You can turn this up a little bit.
You remember, I don't work for free. Witcher's code and all.
Well, was on my way to the Black Ones to trade. Suddenly my horse got spooked, ran clear off the road. We hit a bump. I went flying and the horse and cart rolled on. Then I heard bubbling, neighing, slurping. Something came out from the muck, devoured Asher, hooves and all. No doubt my goods are still on the cart, but I'm too afeard to go and see. Thought maybe you. I'm most concerned about a little box. Bring it to me, I beg you.
Yeah, whatever.
Fine, I'll go. Let me know if I find that box.
Yeah, for the most part, this game is pretty forgiving with, like, you can pick up all the quests and do them later. There are specific ones that are timed, but they're usually, like, the plot is kind of obvious about it. Like, oh, this person's dying and they need this herb. So it's like, if you take too long, then the person succumbs to their wounds or whatever, right? But, like, this dude will pretty much stay here forever until you find that box. And if you hold L2, you get Witcher senses.
Cart tracks. Rode off into the swamp.
It's basically Assassin's Creed.
I gotcha.
Chilling with that cask.
Here's the cart.
Yeah, there's a certain aspect of this game that kind of appeals to me, like, much in the same way that D&D does, in terms of,
Carts riddled with
like, a moral
arrows.
choice system that doesn't necessarily have, like, right and wrong answers, but, you know, like, actions definitely kind of have consequences.
Carts riddled with arrows.
So, and you can kind of, like, Geralt is presented through, like, important plot points as, like, a morally neutral character that kind of lets you get away with playing a little bit more to the good or the bad when you want to. Like, yeah, he'll help you out, but he usually needs to make sure he gets paid. Yeah, those things are nasty. Yeah, so the I want to say it's the up and down on D-pad will have, like, your recovery items in them. So, like, the bread that you had will give you, like, a little bit of a boost. I can't remember if there's, like, a cast time to eating or not. Like I said, it's been probably about a year since I've played this, so some of the details are a little bit fuzzy, but
Okay. So you said you beat the game?
I've gotten pretty close to the end. Alex has, like done to it what I did with Horizon, the kind of thing. Like, she, you know, I've mentioned before that she's like, she's beaten, like, when she gets in the game, she doesn't get into very many, but when she does, she's, like, hooked on them. This was probably the first in the time that we've been together that she was like that with. And since then, probably Horizon, Assassin's Creed, and most recently God of War. She's been pretty big into.
Okay.
Have they taught you anything about your magic signs?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So I've. It's kind of nice that it's kind of like Breath of the Wild, and, like, you get them all at the start of the game, and then there's like progression trees for each of them, so that they'll get more powerful. But they're basically all the same. like the just better versions of the different things. They'll have like certain effects, but they all kind of follow the theme. Yeah, Igni's probably my favorite one. Just straight up lighting dudes on fire. Yeah, so I think that if you hit, I think it's D-pad up will, consume bread. And, oh yeah, no, it doesn't have a cast time, but it's a tick up rather than like an instant health boost. Yeah, and then there's a, that meter that's right below like the wolf head is when you can cast Igni again. There you go, you're getting the rhythm of the rhyme now.
Hmm?
You're getting the rhythm of the rhyme.
Yeah, a little bit. It's,
There's definitely a learning curve to this game.
I find part of my issues is seeing people.
Yeah, at night it's definitely more difficult. I'm not sure if those barrels explode if you hit them with Igni. They very
I think
well
they said it does.
Yeah, be careful about being too close to them if you are, because we've all been that guy. I'm also pretty sure you can loot most of those corpses.
Must be that box he mentioned. Splattered with blood. Human blood.
Drown our brains worth it.
Yeah, pretty much like carry everything. I think that there's like a weight thing in it, but early on you kind of want to just pick up everything you can, and it's always easy to just like dump stuff later. But it's one of those things that it's like very Skyrim-y, and like you need to get some gold under your belt to be able to afford better stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think they're usually pretty good. Once you finish a quest, they'll usually toss you back like instantly into the next story quest.
Oh, and you find the box.
Okay.
A little wet, but intact.
At last, fortune smiles my way. Yours as well, Witcher. Here, the gold I promised you. Happy trails now.
Yeah, so payment is a little bit smaller early on. 20 crowns I don't think is a ton of money, but for a relatively simple quest, not bad by any means. Yeah, they have a pretty deep crafting system as well that I never really got super into, but Alex was big in terms of like learning how to make different potions and having them have different effects. And there's like a whole system of like not taking too many potions because most of them will give you like a toxicity stat, and you don't want to go over on it. It gets very complicated.
Okay.
That was less
seems
my
very like third person Skyrim
Yeah.
kind of feels to it.
Yeah, Geralt definitely has a little bit more of a character to him than most of the protagonists in games like that. Like, he's definitely his own person, and you do have a little bit of influence there, of course, with the decisions that you make, but I always found that Skyrim was much more like, hey, this is just like no-name McGee, you're just kind of doing things yourself, and while the character is there, he's not really, he doesn't have personal relationships with these people besides the ones that are kind of written in. Whereas Geralt definitely exists in this universe, has relationships with the different people in it, likes and dislikes of some of the people, complicated relationships with some of them as you get in there later on. I like him quite a bit, though. But I don't think he's probably one of the better written characters in the story. Like, I find that he gets hampered a little bit because they have to leave certain things open to interpretation. Most of the people that he makes friends with are people I kind of find to be better written characters. Yennefer, who you're looking for, is probably one of the better written characters. I'm a really big fan of, there's a bard that comes in much later on named Dandelion, who's just like, he's my boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so while we have kind of a down moment here too, you recently saw Black Panther?
I did, yeah.
How did you feel about it?
That's good.
It's good. I know you're a very big Michael B. Jordan fan, and I was kind of neutral on him previously because most of the stuff I'd seen of him was kind of like meh, but I think he's one of the better villains that they've introduced into the Marvel universe.
He's the best one, probably.
Yeah.
Me. Loki's not a villain. I don't care what Ryan says.
Yeah, Ryan was saying that he thinks he is. I think Loki's a very good character, but I think he's definitely more of a tweener, right? Like,
I don't consider him like a legit villain.
Yeah, he's like he has moments where he definitely like works against the crew.
And not to mention, if Michael B. Jordan had as much screen time as Loki had in like Avengers and all the other movies he's been in, I think his character would still be better.
Very likely, yeah. Yeah, Loki's had what, like 4? At least 4, because he was the main villain in Avengers 1.
3 Thors.
And the 3 Thors, yeah.
And Avengers 1.
Yeah. So yeah, 4 movies. And like as the main antagonist of Avengers 1. So he's had screen time for sure. Oh yeah, that's what you're looking for.
Anyone home? Must be out hunting.
But I found that the
trail's fresh. His love just left home.
Yeah, I found the like the political side of things to be very, very on point with that movie. I saw it in theater, so it's been a little bit since I've seen it. But I found that what was really interesting about Killmonger was that outside of like his methods, I think that his political views were actually more something I resonated more with than T'Challa's. Like in terms of like, no, we need to be more present in the world. Wakanda has all this technology, but we're presented as like this poor third world country.
Hear that? Wolves? No. Wild dogs? Yes. More dangerous than wolves. I'm hunting bigger game. Enough guardians the griffin killed. Where'd you find them? Ah, I see. You a witcher? That monster slayer they's talking about in the village? I'll show you, sure, but I gotta kill those mutts before they hurt someone. Will you help? That is, if you don't mind blunting your silver blades on them.
Sure, Griffin's not going anywhere.
No, dogs might though, so step careful now. Come on.
These dogs been a problem for a while now.
Since the war started, soldier on the march, he'll stop to rape a woman, strangle her, kill her man for a chuckle, even butcher a cow. A dog, a kicking assy, no more, so these stray mutts form packs. They're gaunt, guts stuck to their spines, covered in scabies, but they just won't die, because they'll never.
Chris Moore,
Fuck out of here, Bambi.
Yeah. You almost turned Bambi into Bambi's mom there, dude.
I've never seen Bambi.
You never seen it? Oh.
No, I've seen it. I'm kidding.
Okay. I haven't seen it since I was a little kid. No, I was saying, like, I found that Killmonger's political views were things that I kind of, aligned with more than.
No, I don't fully disagree.
Yeah.
Although I think there's certainly a line to that.
Yeah, like his methods were obviously way too extreme, and he went fucking banana sandwich crazy. But that's kind of why he's like interesting as a villain, right? And I mean, they kind of do that whole progression where T'Challa learns the right lessons from him, and eventually, integrates the better parts of his ideals into Wakandan society. And because of that, that meeting that they had, Wakandan society is bettered as a whole.
I don't know. I just think his mannerisms were what made him in that movie. For me.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Just man, like everything about him, like those mannerisms, dude. Like he ran. Just the way he carried himself was pretty great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the scenes where he first shows up, and it's just like randomly, like in the middle of him going off, he's like, "Hey, Auntie," like little stuff like that. Like you just don't see other villains in the Marvel universe.
It's true.
They usually don't have the personality.
Yeah, the sole exception being arguably Loki, but with him not being completely a villain. Yeah. Yeah, we should clarify that we're not talking about Thanos at all, because Chris has not yet seen Infinity War. I have, but I'm obviously not going to tell him what kind of a villain Thanos ends up being. But Black Panther and previously, that is, I think that holds fairly true.
Before they drove me from the village. What did you do? Nothing. I'm a freak. So I'd rather not talk about it. I'm a freak too. Why? But of another kind. If it's lycanthropy, I can help. What? Lycanthropy. Werewolves. Handled a few cases in the past. It's usually a simple curse that... The Lord's son, Florian, and I, we loved each other. Dieter walked in us in the stables.
Way to go, Witcher.
Drove me away. Florian hanged himself. Lord started drinking, and the estate fell into ruin. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah, there's definitely some more complicated themes they touch on in this game.
Guardians.
In terms of
Griffin, know anything about it? Oh, not much. Not my kind of game. You're his kind, though. Survival instinct.
Alright, level 2. So yeah, this is a relatively complicated tree. There are 4 other branches as well. I was pretty big on putting stuff into combat early, but those are things to consider for sure. Like above the red spot, the they have like the blue, green, yellow, and I think it's supposed to be black.
I want to make you care.
But yeah, I was pretty big on like fast attack. I found to be really useful because you tend to use it more than strong attack, so having it boost up felt better.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry up, come on, myself, hurry up. Run, bitch.
He just had to pour his soul out to you, so he's emotional right now. I told you his greatest secret.
You want to see me run? That makes you run faster. That's good.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good about not wasting your time.
It was here. One lay there, by the stump, headless. Another hung from a branch, guts splayed, stretching down to... Watch out for yourself now. I'll be fine. Not the first griffin I've dealt with. Not likely to be the last either. Hope you're right. Good hunting now. Health Guardians were celebrating. Griffin interrupted them.
indeed.
Ground's black, saturated with blood.
Yeah, so Geralt's definitely somebody who's like, pretty much every time he does something, he's seen this shit before. Very little surprises him.
Mm-hmm. He seems a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, he definitely has a past. I mean, obviously he has 2 games previously. But this was my introduction to the series. I'd never played 1 or 2, and I think that Alex hadn't either. But they're pretty good about when things that you need to know from 1 and 2 come up, that they fill you in, like they kind of fill you in where need be. I think that everything you'll find is back in that circle. But yeah. Except for this warg. Fighting Bran Stark over here. Oh, that dough is not long for this world. Raw meat. Always comes in handy. I do think that you can eat raw meat in order to restore health. One thing they're really good about is like when you run out of the current item that you have, like if there's another thing to replace it in like that quick select menu, like if with like 3 roasted chicken legs, if you eat those, if there's another thing that can fill in, it'll do that for you. So it doesn't really make you go into the inventory more than is like actually necessary. So like obviously you would want the next best recovery item here, so like let me see the next best recovery item.
These prints are older and deeper, heavily armored. Elf guardians probably.
Yeah, this is one of those fast travel posts. This is also a very large world map. Just in the base game, it took a significant amount of time in order to get across different parts of it. And then they add entirely new areas for the for both DLC packs, I think. Oh, nice. I think you can make that jump. Oh, yeah. Geralt's always been a quick man.
Griffin's nest. What remains of it at least. Corpse is a couple of weeks old. Still alive when the Griffin brought him here. Took a long time dying. Bones. Horse. Dog. Human. A few months worth.
Ah, yes.
Female. Larvae in her wounds have already hatched. Been dead at least a week. Mother Griffin must be a male. Deep cuts over the whole body. Not a drop of blood on the beak or claws. Didn't defend herself. Crept up on her while she slept. Beak tips worn. Gray hairs in the coat. And 12 years old. Griffins pair off for life when young. Male must be about the same age. Thick shaft, dense barbs. Royal Griffin. Explains why the male I ran into was so aggressive. Hunted the Nilfgaardians down here in the forest first, then started prowling the area.
Okay.
Yeah, so before you do end up, like, obviously you have to do the herbalist thing first, but before you do end up going into that fight with the griffin, that's going to be kind of like your first big test, so make sure you stock up on things. So it's not the easiest fight. I died on it more often than I would care to admit.
Well, only bodes well for me.
I was also playing on a more difficult difficulty level, because I think you're playing on like the second one, right?
I think the third, actually. I am switching, I believe.
Oh, did you? Okay, then we would be playing on the same one. I think. I don't remember what I put it on.
I think I put whatever one says it's a challenging one for gamers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so early on, I'm trying to remember. So I know that you've met Yennefer, although maybe that was just in your dreams. You met Vesemir. Have you met Ciri yet?
Yes.
Okay.
In dream.
Okay. Yeah. And how old was she in Dream? I can't remember.
Come on now.
Like decently, 16.
Okay. 'Cause, she is a complicated character. Very
Gotcha.
common in the cosplay community.
Not at all. Hand me the beggar tickets. Good clue. Well, one versed in herbs.
Probably saying too much, but I know a bit. For instance, that beggar tick's poisonous.
In large doses. Small ones soothe pain and bring forth pleasant dreams. Which is all I can hope to do for her.
Looking for buckthorn. Know if it grows anywhere around here?
Bottom of the river, where the channel's widest. You do know that once out of the water...
It'll stink worse than a weak cold carcass. Counting on it. I'm hunting the griffin. Need the buckthorn for bait.
I was thinking... A few years ago we had trouble, drowners under the bridge. The whole village had to pitch in for a witch. Who now can afford the bounty on a griffin's head?
Captain Peter Sars. Something.
Ah, good to know the Black One's looking out for our welfare.
Doubt Emperor Emir cares about you. But this captain just might. Seems like a decent man.
There are no decent men in the army. There are any orders.
Not from here, are you? A bitterness in you. Too much for someone who spent her life in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
True. And you're in a hurry. Elsewise you'd not use bait, just wait for the griffin to attack again.
Believe we could have an interesting conversation.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, there's definitely some complicated like thought that's gone into the factions that exist and the way that they interact with the different people in different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean I find these games often are like that. You often have those, like Skyrim's a great example. There's so many different types of people, the way they interact with certain other people. And
I find that Skyrim tends to be a lot more one note with it, though. It's just like, every member of like the Nords don't get along with like the Imperials or whatever, right? Like it's just like, oh, well, we don't doesn't get along with the Stormcloaks, and it's just kind of, I find them to be kind of like bland and one note, whereas obviously like the armies have their different and the factions have like their different like overarching goals, but different ones will have different specific interactions with people as well. And like at different times, like groups will be your friend during some quest while also being your enemy in other quests. Like
Should talk to Vesemir.
they do a very good job of making it feel like an actual world. And again, I don't know how much of that was built up in the first 2 games. Really, all that I know from like the first game that kind of was important and carries through was Geralt, like at the start of the first game, has amnesia and has lost his memory, and because of that, he like ends up forming a completely different life that is, counteracts his old one, and then his 2 worlds kind of have to come into conflict, like because he obviously had certain relationships with certain people in one, which didn't carry over when he didn't remember them, and he gets his memories back, but he still has this entirely separate life that things get kind of interesting in. I believe you have to walk to those positions to fast travel. I could be wrong about that, though. Yeah, you have to travel.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not a super far distance, though. You're only like 200 units.
It was more of a curiosity.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's why, like, when you get to towns, it is important to go and get those signposts. I think you actually have to go... It might activate right when you get to the town, but I think you might have to go, like, talk to the signpost or whatever. Yeah. You do have a horse that you can call, but it's not usually worth grabbing, like, when you're only going this distance, because he doesn't jump over fences and stuff as well.
I find the horse is slower than me.
I think maybe, like, he doesn't have the same stamina bar to worry about, but could be.
He's just slower in general, I find.
I always didn't use him because I always wanted to pick up shit that was on the ground. And, like, fighting things, it's like a hassle to get on and off of them.
What is it, Wolf?
Got good news and bad news. Good news first. Captain of the Nilfgaardian garrison knows where Yennefer went.
And the bad's that we have to kill the griffin for him. What else could he want from 2 witchers? Go on. Tell me what you know.
Griffin's abandoned its lair. Gotta make a lure, set a trap.
And how's that going?
Got the shit that we need, Vesemir. Chill the fuck out.
It's a male, had its nest in the Vulpine Woods. The Nilfgaardians burned the woods down, killed its mate, smashed their eggs. Thought they'd fixed things.
It's always the same. Instead of sending for a professional, they try to do it themselves, only end up making matters worse.
Got the buckthorn.
Ought to work like a charm. Powerful scent.
More like stench.
City boy. Rotting meat, manure, piss. Standard smells of the countryside. Remember Tredegor? Hunting that Zoogle in the trash heap? You spent half the next day bathing, scrubbing yourself.
How can I forget? You ever gonna stop bringing that up?
Fine. If everything's ready, say the word and we'll get to work.
I'm ready. No point in waiting. Let's find a good spot to ambush it.
Picked one out already, other side of the stream. There's fields and a grove. Plenty of room and far enough so no one will get in our way.
Good. Meet you there.
I guess I should probably stock up on some things.
Yeah, you want to definitely brew that Thunderbolt potion, which I think they actually tutorial you for. Yeah, so this is the whole alchemy. Jank, I think that like it lets you try to carve them or to make them on your own, but if you if you know the if you scroll down to potions, if you know the formula, you can just make it from there.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Equip in the inventory panel. Oh yeah, health items will do that automatically, but you will have to do it manually for things like potions. They are kind enough to fill you in on the tutorial, though. Definitely stick it in that those spots.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's probably the main stuff that you need. The only real advice I'd have is, like, when you think you're going to need to heal, do it sooner rather than later, so that you, like, because it has, like, that, you know, charge up time with it, so you don't want to be, like, using it when you're already super low. It's just, like, as you're starting to get lower.
So you don't think I need to get anything else?
Unless there's a shop nearby, which I'm not sure if there is. This wasn't an area that I spent a ton of time in. There's a few, like, cities that are bigger that you spend more time in. There's, like, this really cool, like, Viking set of islands that you go to that Alex was big on, and there's this like actual city that I was super into. Yeah, the innkeep I think would have the stuff that you need, or the maybe or the shopkeeper. Innkeep is someone you can sell your things at, though. But yeah, that shopkeeper that's ahead of you is probably your best bet. Just see what they have. Oh, he's behind you. Literally, yeah, that guy.
We meet again.
Thank you for saving me. People say all kinds of things about witches, but I've always known yours to be an honorable guild.
So you managed to salvage some goods.
Yeah, we're all right.
Yes, but I await the repair of my wagon. As time passes, my losses grow. Do you need something? I can let it go half-free.
Let me have a look at your stock.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. Gear-wise, you're probably not going to find anything you need. But yeah. What's that red potion that he has down there? No, it's an alchemy ingredient. So there's a water skin that's like the bottom right, I think. Yeah, that's pretty useful. And that was like the main thing. I don't know what else you would need, but obviously feel free to take a look.
Take care.
Okay.
Babs, get down. Oh yeah, they don't let you hit kids. Probably be pretty bad PR, I imagine.
Sorry, I was just looking up some. Okay.
It's all good, dude.
Alright.
Waves of grain. Charming place. Perfect for an ambush.
I know how to choose them. So, ready?
Yes, you do, Vesemir.
Let's start. Wind's good. The scent will spread quickly.
Now all we have to do is wait. Come on. We can cower in the shade of those birches.
So tell me, once we find Yennefer, what'll you do? Got your eye on a contract?
No. I'll go to Kaer Morhen.
Little early to settle in for the winter.
Snows are a way off, yes. And that's what worries me. Nilfgaard's across the Pontar in the east. It's them only a week's march from Kaer Morhen. If they reach the valley before snows can cover the passes, well, we need to cover our tracks, hide our paths. Speaking of winter and wintering, think you'll come this year?
Maybe. Might bring a guest.
Geralt, quite a hit with the ladies. I'm sure that shocks nobody based on how this game starts. Alright, Chris, you ready to fuck up a griffin?
Let's go give
Nope.
welcome.
Wait, take this.
Just believe in yourself. Remember your training. You have the power of friendship and a new handheld crossbow.
Wanted in a card game while you were away. Might come in handy. With a crossbow, breaking a tradition. Got a griffin to kill.
Babs, you gotta get out of here.
Watch out.
Oh, they're nice enough to give you some of your health back. So yeah, I think L1 will let you at your crossbow menu. Yeah, okay, it's in the same area as here. Signs. Nice juke. Okay, yeah, Silver Sword's definitely the right one for him. Oh, there you go.
How do you use the crossbow?
It's, like, once you're in that menu, you select it where Igni is. I think you just, yeah, you hold down, hit X, and then R1. I think it's R1. Yeah, I don't think it does much damage, but it brings him down. Okay, you're doing actually pretty well here.
It's fast.
I'd use one of those chicken legs. Yeah. Well, that water's pretty... Oh, yeah, water goes way faster. Yeah, you're getting the hang of this better than I did. The first time I played this was, like... I'd started dating Alex, but I was still in my old apartment, so, like... I was, like, trying to sit up on, like, my bed, and, like, the sun used to come in through the window because the curtains weren't very good. So, like, half the time when I was playing it, I could barely see, like, half the screen. I've come a long way since then.
For sure.
Yeah. I loved that apartment when I lived in it, but goddamn was it a shithole. But you know what it was like. It was like my first place was on my own. It was a shithole, but it was my shithole.
Oh, yeah, I understand, for sure. Okay. Good, how do you switch your sensors, yeah.
Yeah. I was also very big on not having roommates, which was kind of my big thing. I always thought I would, like, completely live alone, but I also didn't think that I would be able to find a woman who would put up with me. So that's kind of a nice thing, just because I have those weird tendencies of, like, you know, I stay up all night. And I'm not very good at cleaning without being prompted. But Alex kind of complements my weaknesses very well. Also, fuck this thing. Yeah. You do have unlimited crossbow bolts, by the way, which is kind of nice. They're just like, fucking here, just shoot this thing. Inventory management. We have enough of that in this game. You don't need it on this weapon. Oh, nice shot. That dude was, like, ready to come in and fuck you up, and he just... Oh, girl, it sounds like you. Oh yeah, that Thunderbolt potion. Probably worth taking one. I don't remember exactly what it does. But yeah, you see that, like, skull and crossbone thing next to your head with, like, a little bit in the meter? That's that toxicity thing. Where if it fills up, I don't know if it starts doing damage or kills you or what, but negative effects come in.
Okay.
But it's kind of basically there so that you don't just, like, you know, spam potions and you know, just, like, wreck things. Shit. Oh, this is gonna be down the wire. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, because you take fall damage in this game. Did Vesemir finish it for you? I think it's dead. Yeah. Dude, you fucking did it on the first try. Nice job.
I'm so proud of myself.
I would be.
Not bad. Not bad. Though you could stand to improve some things.
Yeah, like what,
For
Vesemir?
example, upward vertical strike is too obvious. But more on that later. Take the griffin's head to the Black Ones. I'll ready our horses. Meet me at the inn.
Oh, they even were nice enough to give you your entire health bar back.
It's quite nice of them.
Yeah. 'Cause
How do I...
I think you have to use your vision, Witcher vision. Oh, I think there's the prompt right there. It was over by its... Oh no, that was the ingredients, my bad. Is it by its head? I feel like it's by its head.
I feel like I'm right by his head.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, loot. You were just over it. It's like in a little bit. Also, yeah, it's just standing in the body. It's like just forward a little bit, I think. And to the left. Yeah, just the prompt
shit.
up. Yeah. Just grab all that
Really
shit.
choppy, I heard. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Those are some buffs. Yeah, we'll head back to Nilfgaard, restart, share play, because it's getting close, but we'll do the, we'll get back to Nilfgaard first. Not Nilfgaard, obviously, but the Nilfgaardians.
No, I like the game. It does have a lot of things that I like in some of my favorite games. I find the controls a little janky. I know it's a few years old, but
Yeah.
like that looting there shouldn't be that difficult. But,
Yeah. I seem to remember that being like that specific one is a pain in the ass, and outside of that, I don't remember it being super problematic grabbing stuff. Although I admittedly did not do that much hunting. Alex did a lot, so she'd probably know better. Yeah, there's no spark on it. Igni will definitely light those up though. But yeah.
I'm not too worried about that now. I'm not necessarily looking to loot everything. I'm trying to enjoy the game more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's certain enemies that you'll want to take advantage of. Like White Orchard, not so much. It's not as big of an issue, but there's definitely certain enemies that you kind of want to make sure that you, like, early on you spend some time fighting so you can get levels under your belt. Because like they're no strangers to giving you quests that you're expected to come back to much later in the game. Like in the next area you go to, you'll pick up quests that you're not supposed to do until you're like level 40, and then you won't come back to deal with those until like 40 hours later or whatever. Like when I say like long game, like Alex probably put like 100 hours into this game.
Yeah.
If I were to guess. I'm not exactly sure because when she started playing it was when we were dating and she was in a different city, so she would do it like when I was at work, when she was in town, but oh yeah, that's a nice little thing. You just light candles with Igni. Babs, what do you want? Oh, you're stealing. Yeah.
Where is the captain?
He's to the a little bit forward. He's like that big like icon that's on your mini map there. There you go. Grab and chill out.
What the hell is this? Right.
Trying to do a show.
You take me for a blind man or a fool? This grain is rotten. I didn't know. So, a fool. Damn it. Military Codex, Article 2, Section 3. For the delivery of defective goods, 15 lashes with a knout. Make it so.
Maybe he's not such a good guy after all.
God, no! What?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's...
Good uncle act. It was no act. He extended a hand to these people. They spat on it.
Could it be because it held the sword that killed their loved ones?
Tja, a moralist. And what would you do in my stead?
Would never be in your stead.
Tell me why you come.
Babs, you can't.
Fulfill my end of the bargain. Your turn. Where'd Yennefer go?
To Zima.
She was a day's ride from here the whole time. Under my nose. Might have said so.
Yes, I might have. But you would not have killed the griffin.
I find this... There's somebody that this guy reminds me of. He reminds me of
Halt!
Pedro Pascal.
We are not done. It's yours. This gold. I do not want you to say.
Like, obviously, very different facial head hair. Oh yeah, they'll do this sometimes. Actually, before you hit, yeah, I mean I was.
I'm gonna take the coin.
Yeah.
We'll start the share play here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're at least nice enough to prompt you in case you would set the thing down. Oh, let me just put a little thing in for myself.
I mean, I don't do anything for free. Of course, I'm gonna take the coin.
Yeah. I agree. I think maybe I didn't, but that was... Or maybe it was Alex who didn't because she knew a little more about the lore. And, like, Geralt has a very complicated history with the Nilfgaardians. Where he's, like... It was kind of like a fuck you, I'm not taking your money. But, you know. Motherfucker, if I'm going to do a job, I'm going to get paid. I understand that logic. That's something that... let's bring it back in here. That's something that came up at... that used to comes up, I find, at work a lot, and I feel like it's probably a universal thing, is that low-skill jobs, people will try to promote, like, they'll try to motivate people through, like, loyalty to do things that they, like, otherwise shouldn't, right? Like, oh, you have to stay late because otherwise you're going to fuck over all your coworkers. It's like, no, I don't. You scheduled me till this time, and I have things I'm doing. And, like, if you didn't have a good enough reason, they're like, well, that's not a good enough reason. Why won't you come in on your day off? And I've never been somebody who understood the logic there. Like, no, the relationship that I have with work is a business transaction. They give me money in exchange for, you know, being there and doing the job that I'm paid for. So while it is convenient in certain cases to help out the people that are around me because they'll do so in return, like, it's selfish first. If I'm scheduled to be there during certain times, and if I want to come in on days where I'm not scheduled to and they offer, then sure. But I never understood the thought process of, like, you're obligated to say yes unless you have better, like, oh, what are you doing instead? Like, fucking, I think that, like, me being like, no, I want to stay home and play video games is a completely valid, like, you know, especially now because we do, like, you know, we do a show for it, and I use my days off a lot for a lot of work we do. It's fucking 14 videos a week is a lot of videos, especially when we do longer ones like this one, right? But I've always kind of felt resentful when people try pulling out, like, the, like, loyalty thing. I feel like it's just a tool that people use to get dumb people to do more than they should. And I get a little resentful when people try to put me in that camp. Like, there's definitely moments where, like, you can definitely have, like, those things, but I don't think it should be, like, considered an obligation. If I say yes, then I am doing them a solid. Much in the same way that they don't have to let me have specific days off that I need. They're doing me a solid. Get more of that stanky gear. For Babs, she hasn't wanted to see me the entire night. She has literally jumped all over me the entire time we've been recording today. It's classic Babs. Oh, I know. Now she's on the table. I don't usually let her on the table because it has Alex's stuff on it, but I just want her to leave me alone right now. I'm going to allow it.
Poor Babs.
Well, like, you know, she and I are cool, but it's hard when we're recording, right? Because, especially right now, like that big, I don't have the chair that, like, we usually sit in. I moved it over because it makes for weird camera angles. She stayed up there for 5 seconds. I use my desk chair. So, like, she jumped up on the back of it earlier, and I was like, I super don't have room for her on the back of this chair. Hey, you want back up? Then we can hang out again. But you have to stay on my lap. Let's stop fucking with my cords. Everyone say hi to special guest Babs. We've all heard her. Or we've heard me yelling at her, but this is what she looks like.
Jennifer's in Vizima. Got a few friends there, so... Something wrong? Look around. Trouble brewing.
Ah, yes.
Wait, how did I fail the quest?
That's a different quest. I'll get out of the cutscene and I'll show you. There was a timed one that was a side thing. It happened to Alex and me too. I totally forgot about it, or I would have mentioned it to you.
Drinking this supper from Maria, fist starting to itch.
Don't see any Nilfgaardians.
You'll find another fowl. Buy some provisions for the journey. Then we'll go. Geralt, we should stay out of it. Just this once.
That would be the logical and smart thing to
What
do.
happened to the lilies? Took him down. Took him down to hang a golden sun there now. Cannot show to me because they'll come and burn the tavern down. Maybe it's true what they say. You fond of the Imperials, you Nilfgaard's whore.
That is rude.
I'll let that pass. I know grief eats at your heart. You know shit. They hanged my sister, dragged her out the cloister like a dog. Said Nilfgaard's no place for superstition, that they don't fear the wrath of the gods. And you, do you fear it? If not for Annie, your child would have choked on its navel string. You owe your son to my sister attending to the birth, and you don't fear the gods' wrath. You
This
don't
lady's...
fear it, you cunt!
Damn. A little bit hardcore.
Leave me be!
Much like a D&D session, you were not letting this go. You're not staying out of it just this once.
Back off.
You alright?
They say witches steal young'uns. That's true. What the Emperor promised you, freaks? Your own land, like he did the elves once.
Get out, Harlan.
We ain't going nowhere.
Alright, Chris, you ready to go to have your first bar fight?
They won't pack down now.
I'm ready to slaughter some bitches.
That's a steel sword fight. And yeah, this thing, a little bit, these people, a little bit easier to kill than griffins. Oh nice, you didn't even need to use a sign on them. And you hit level 3. Oh shit! That dude just got wrecked.
It's alright. It's over.
Leave me be! Get away!
Babs, you need to seriously... I'm gonna sit in the chair.
See his face. God save us.
And don't ever come back.
Not everybody has the stomach for
So much for not getting involved.
for what you do, yeah.
Let's go.
To be fair, Vesemir, you kind of started that one.
We're running for 2 hours today, right?
Yeah. Roughly 2 hours.
That brawl, we didn't start it.
There goes the camera, because the cat's getting all of them.
And there she is.
Yennefer of Vendenberg.
Excuses. You've not changed.
Probably a favorite character of yours, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
How?
I received a report about a witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me. I might have waited until you found me, but you know me. Patience has never been my strong suit. It's good to see you, Geralt. I'd even embrace you. Were you not covered in blood?
Sorry. Wasn't expecting to see you. To be honest, this isn't at all how I imagined we'd meet.
How did you imagine it?
You didn't imagine you'd have a Nilfgaardian escort. Don't get me wrong, Yennefer. I'm glad to see you. But I do think you owe us an explanation.
And I shall provide it. In Vizima. Ready your horses.
And Chris takes his time. The most important decision of the game rests before him.
I feel like this has to be the answer then.
It's been the last 6 months in the city. Haven't seen you for 2 years. Can we take a moment to...
Sadly, we cannot. Someone
Yennefer, don't we have a moment for a hookup?
Someone else is Emperor Emir var Emrys. Or, to those on more intimate terms with him, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
That's what his friends call him.
Among that group. For as I remember, last time we saw each other, he wanted to kill me.
Well, now he wishes to make you an offer.
The kind one can't refuse.
I didn't, though I could have.
Fine. Guess I'm willing to hear him out.
The Emperor of Nilfgaard, Lord of Metina, Ebbing, and Gamera, Sovereign of Nazaire and Vicovaro will feel honored, I'm sure.
Jeez, his title's almost as long as Daenerys Stormborn.
Direction. I somehow doubt the Emperor's invitation mentioned me. Besides, I've got things to do at Kaer Morhen. Remember?
Yeah, I remember. Thanks for your help, Vesemir. See you soon.
How's your horse? Swift?
Can't complain.
Like Taylor.
Ask.
I'd like to be back behind some thick city walls as soon as possible.
Trophy?
Yeah, I think it's for you finding her or the tutorial or something like that.
Yeah, one of those. Definitely one of those. Yeah, so I did mention that Ciri was a popular cosplay person in the cosplay community, character. Yennefer up there as well.
Just the beginning.
Doesn't surprise me.
She is a very hot lady, and she's a pretty big badass. Gotta get away from that Jesus statue. That guy did not last long at all. Went down like a bitch. Yeah, Yennefer's kind of a badass.
Fair enough. Jeez.
How big? We should talk of this tomorrow, right? After the audience.
Yeah, they're not, they'll kind of go into it in detail, but, while Geralt has, like, those signs he can use, Igni and the rest of them, he's not a true magician like Yennefer is.
Friend Geralt of Rivia, senior lover of yours, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials and tribulations, Geralt finally learned that Yen was in nearby Vizima.
Oh, there we go. Everything's coming up, Geralt. Gonna have to do some covering in this scene, I'm pretty sure. YouTube, not big on nudity.
It must suffice.
Think of your cares if I'm clean.
The gentleman referred to His Imperial Majesty by his full title or not at all.
Oh, I love this dude.
The gentleman will be seated on the bergère.
What now?
In that chair. That will
This-
reshape the gentleman's sideburns to half an inch.
Don't shave the hair. He really is becoming this kind of Triple H.
So this is a really... he kind of is. This is actually kind of a cool thing.
What's wrong with
The beard, his beard grows in real time.
It does. Yet it also
Okay.
detracts from your elegance.
So yeah, like Alex was always big on shaving him. I had him have this fucking giant ass beard.
Especially beards infested with lice.
Been on the road a while. Fine. Do your thing.
Yeah, he can have like 3 different hairstyles. What, like this being the least elegant of them too. But yeah, the beard can be done independently of them. But whereas you can kind of change the hairstyles at will if you want to get a longer beard. Babs, I swear to God, get out of those cords.
General, I am not certain this is the appropriate dye.
I can't think of a better time. Men turn honest when they feel a blade. Your friend, commander of the Albion, will take you in to see the Emperor. Some information I need you to verify. It's a formality, but one that must be seen.
Sure. Paperwork's gotta be in order.
So, Geralt of Rivia, place of birth unknown, parents unknown, age unknown, all insignificant details. Let us proceed to more recent events. The siege of La Valette Castle.
I think that was an event from one of the earlier
The
games.
defending commander won.
I'm not 100% sure though. I think you actually get to choose. Like I think that neither option is lying. Kind of like Mass Effect 2 that way, where it's like just you didn't play Witcher 2. Pick your options here.
Me to clear the path. Your boy stood in my way.
Cutting down the Valette. This made no impression. I suppose it wouldn't. What's some baron? An assassin of kings? Moving on. You then found shelter in charming Flotsam, and from there made your way to Verga. My question is,
Okay.
I got him flotsam with
Vernon Roach is a cool character.
blue stripes.
a murderer of non-humans. You know this gentleman well. You forge interesting alliances.
Something tells me my most interesting is yet to come. Go on, next question, before my beard grows back in.
Sassy.
Save you again if it does. The infamous summit at Lochmuir. You were there. And once again meddled in the affairs of the mighty.
So Triss is the
I was about
The
to
other
say, I don't
part of
know. It's kind of tough not knowing these people.
yeah. So remember how I said that Geralt
I
had
think
2
they
lives?
mentioned... Yeah, I was going to say they mentioned Triss once.
I'd pick the Triss
When-
option, and I'll fill you in. So Geralt in his before Witcher 1 was intimately tied with Yennefer, when he was
Okay.
he lost track of her and had amnesia, and he developed a romantic relationship with Triss. And then once he regained his memories, he had romantic feelings for both of them. Because it's not like, you know, technically cheating if you have amnesia, so it's a little bit complicated.
From what I know, shortly afterwards, I watched a defective
It's very interesting anytime that Triss and Yen cross paths. I'm a big Triss fan, but that's because she has bright red hair like Alex's.
I watched her get in the megascope, but ultimately freed her from the trap your man Leto of Gullet had set. Write that down. You want to
Ooh.
make sure the paperwork's in order now.
Sassy.
national interest calls on for difficult alliances at times. Alliances with witches.
Well, the alliance has been dissolved irrevocably. I killed Leto and Lockmuin.
So we heard. It's a good thing we did. Saved our agents so messy and difficult. I believe that is all. Your signature, please. If,
Yeah, most of these events I don't really know anything about. I know like some of these characters later, but some of
Say
them
it's
never
kind
came
of
up.
tricky picking some of this stuff because I don't really know these people at all.
Yeah. Based off of who I ran into, I'm assuming that like affects who ends up being in the plot. And I pretty much ran into like the people you picked were the ones that I ended up spending more time with.
So long. Good luck with your audience.
So yeah, Mr. Paperwork.
Feels more like I'm being readied for a wedding.
So, I would have prepared the gentleman a frock, a tailcoat, or possibly a dinner jacket. And point of fact, the gentleman will choose from these garments.
Black, black, or black.
We do not like garish colors in Nilfgaard. The gentleman will tell me once he has chosen.
I actually really love this guy. He's very like prim and proper, even though he like clearly has problems with Geralt. I think you actually get to keep these clothes too.
It's pretty bad. It's disgusting.
I like that third one, but
That might be the winner. Yeah,
Very
no,
sh-
I agree.
you have to equip them.
Oh, okay.
They're like part of your inventory.
I'm assuming.
We're ready. Oh, that towel would have been perfect. You have the shirt and the pants, but then you're still wearing the towel. They won't let you go to the Emperor that way, because I definitely tried doing that.
And
But it's kinda
the
great.
clothes do not make the man. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
A studded doublet and a sword on my back. That's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose.
No need. The gentleman's complexion is
I love this dude.
mirror of the north and south. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
But I feel like I'm super offended by this man. But I also like him.
Yeah.
So I feel like I gotta go with the sassy response.
Yeah, like Geralt is equally comfortable on the road for 6 months as he is in high court.
How much do the answers to these questions matter? Grand scheme of things.
Not really. You can be kind of like I think.
Because I've been trying to be patient and kind of read everything out and make sure it makes sense.
Hand flat,
I mean,
head down, chin to chest.
Do I have to?
I mean, you can say this is absurd if you want to.
Wrong. Once more. Leg extended. Hand flat. Head down. Chin to chest. Gentlemen will rehearse. Lacking fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Northies.
Oh, how very kind of you, dickbag.
I feel like killing him.
You don't have your sword with
The
you.
gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate title.
Your arch magnificency.
The gentleman is in the mood for jests. I hear the Emperor...
His arch magnificency.
Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect.
All right.
Emir var Emreis.
Make your choice, Chris.
I'll be respectful.
Okay.
I just feel like being respectful is the right call here.
Okay.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer et do orde.
Weljen namen, wat gun favor.
Well, we don't know what that means. But see ya.
I feel like it's a good thing.
I thought you bowed before no man.
Didn't want to disappoint the Chamberlain. We're friends.
I actually like the Chamberlain. I'm also gonna look up that guy's voice actor because he sounds very familiar.
It's about the good old days. So,
Silence. My daughter Sevilla. She's returned. And she's in danger. The wild hunt pursues her. You will find her.
Oh, it's Charles fucking Dance.
how many men in your army? 20,000? 30?
Charles Dance, of course, being Tywin Lannister on Game of Thrones, for anybody who is unaware.
She trusts me. Yes. So tell me why you were looking for her.
Charles Dance is my boy.
All those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You would agree regardless. If for no other reason...
Because I know what his face looks like, it's freaking me out seeing him with this different guy's face.
See for the contract. Consider the ring.
I need information, not motivation. Syria leaves few tracks. Should be hard to find.
My corps of spies will help you. Count on them and my army, should the need arise. Jennifer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Meredith, take him to the sorceress.
Yeah, it's time to have a one-on-one meeting with the sorceress, Chris.
I'm really excited.
Let's see how you sound it. Let's see how charming you can be.
Follow me, if the gentleman pleases. Please keep close. There are many honorable guests in the palace, whom the gentleman
Disgusts.
need not bother.
Showing that wall what's up.
Yeah, man. I'll extinguish this bitch.
Chamberlain will wait for you. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like the most patient dude in the universe.
No, it's alright. I was actually plugging my controller in.
That's quite alright. It was just funny and weird.
Do you know who you're talking to, sir? I'm Herivard the Second, Prince of Helanda. Not only am I making
Oh my god.
Disappearing woman. What?
The classic open world glitchy games.
Täter Tag and then
Oh, interesting. Toussaint is the place you go to in one of the expansions. I didn't catch that the first time.
Neutrality. How difficult it is to preserve.
Oh, let's have a political discussion here.
Know a thing or two about that.
Care to explain?
Never changes. I try to stay out of things, stand aside. Then comes an urgent summons, and an offer I can't refuse.
Those people don't need to see your butt.
Would change the subject. So, talk to the Emperor.
Why did he summon you?
So not even you know.
But I wager it's an ordinary witch's contract.
Yeah, that's why he summoned specifically you.
Earbubs. See you.
I don't know if you picked up on this, but oh no, you know what? Yennefer might explain it, so I'll keep my mouth shut. If she doesn't, I'll fill you in.
One false move and you will regret it.
Come on, pick it up.
I don't think he's
What?
interesting. I didn't think they were gonna let you pick stuff in the Emperor's private gardens and shit. I love that dude. He always
I'm
refers
just
to
trying
you.
to pick up
Sorry.
as much as I can.
I think you have to like look down at it. The gentleman will have time for a stroll later, Chris. Please stay with him.
Alright. Just, gathering resources.
Yep. Picking these gardens clean.
It's done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Alright.
Yes? Then transcribe. True authority in Novigrad is not a city council
Oh, Novigrad. That's that city that I like a lot. Alex wasn't as big on it. Alright.
Geralt, that tunic, you look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
Consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But big matters to attend to. Now, do you understand why I'm at Amir's court?
It seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back. No chance he's mistaken.
Look, that's more or less what she looks like, right? Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
So they're our agents now? Not mine. They've clearly settled in quick.
Geralt, don't twist my words. I know who he is. He started this war and its bloodshed. He had
I'm so mad at you because you won't sleep with me.
Jesus, dude.
I have to take things so seriously.
She's
Siri
strong,
this, Siri
independent
that.
woman.
I'm not even a fan of Apple phones. Get the fuck out of my mind.
The wild hunts after her.
Not even a fan of
Stupid
what?
Siri.
Oh,
I said,
yeah, no, it took me a second.
shouldn't have had to.
Well, it's 4 in the morning, Chris.
I know.
Babs, I'm gonna stab you. Every once in a while, production goes off the rails.
Guess you
We get out of here. Usually she just chills out and lets me do my thing, but not today.
Turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt, before the wild hunt does.
Alright.
wild hunt.
Directions.
Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do.
Everyone in this game is so sassy.
As for what the hunt wishes to do with that gift, I prefer not to think about it, really.
So where's Ciri been seen exactly?
In two places, Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
His brother Daniel.
Passwords, secret handshakes.
None. Sorry to spoil your fun, your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Marigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat.
She sounds a little jealous there.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Someone sounds a little jealous.
I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, alright? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you.
Okay,
I wish to hear
I feel like those are
any of it.
different than I lost my memory.
Mm-hmm. No
Like
kidding.
those two sound like garbage excuses. I feel like I lost my memory is a pretty good one.
Not my preference. I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll
Wait,
come
why not?
back.
He hates teleportation.
Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, alright? Just check those leads and come back to me. In one piece.
See, she still cares. Oh,
I shall be waiting.
damn, Chris.
That's my girl.
That's my girl.
That's my girl. Come here. Come here.
Yes?
Oh, she's...
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Man.
So, if you
That's
go into
cool as
your...
shit.
one thing I want to show you, go into your inventory for a sec. Oh,
Ooh.
never mind.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Citrus
Well, you just
and
had them
flowers.
with you?
The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound. As soon
Yeah,
as
so Ciri is the Emperor's daughter.
Mentioned something of the sort.
Mm.
So long.
Yeah, go into your inventory for a second.
Hmm.
Oh. Yeah. Go to quests. So, you were wondering about like that failed one before first. Scroll down to it. And yeah, so basically anytime you do a quest, there's like a little write-up that's like done up like in the style of a Bard's Tales. So they'll kind of like teach you, like there was a so because you left White Orchard, it's like kind of just doesn't even. It's not like it's like a huge thing. I had a similar thing happen. And go back into it for a second because there's also character hit R1. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought there was a character. There's like definitely a character write-up screen somewhere. I guess maybe it wasn't in there. Oh, yeah, you do have a level up to do, though. Yeah, it's just a free 50 health. And there's some complicated things that you get, like stacking bonus if they're the same color, but you don't have multiple ones to do. And this is just certain events can only be done at certain times. So those are, kind of important. Gotta get those points in there, though. Get those fast attacks in. Maybe it's in the glossary. I think that's character things, but yeah, basically you'll just get one on the far left. Yeah, this is the characters one that I was looking for. So yeah, this will teach you about the different people you need to see, and you get different write-ups, and they're all done in like the story of a bard. So you can kind of like, hey, here's a bunch of characters that you should know from the first couple games if you need them. The other really important ones right now are Ciri and Triss and Yen. So yeah, you can see why Triss is one of my favorites. Very, very similar to Alex with her hair.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And Dandelion's probably my favorite character because he's just like this dope-ass bard. I think that it's supposed to be written from his perspective, but like the voice that was going in those cutscenes that were like the kind of like weird like narrative ones were all right, but like we're supposed to be him, but it's like a different voice than when he actually talks. Like he has like his grand bard voice, but like he's a little bit more like Weasley and kind of a bit more of a fuck up. But just like to go over his face, he's like goofiest looking motherfucker. Like, look at that guy. He's like Shakespeare.
So Dandelion writes this stuff.
Yeah, Dandelion like documents the history of Geralt and his adventures. So here's like his write up of himself. He's like, I would wager that anyone that you, dear reader, are a person of culture and taste, and therefore already familiar with me, Dandelion, and the role I am playing the following tale. Like, come on, man, not everybody's gonna know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Dandelion, yeah, you don't end up meeting him for like a while, but when you do, he's like the best. He's always getting into shenanigans and always needs Geralt to bail him out.
He looks like a scholar version of Ezio.
Yeah, kind of. Except he doesn't... No, actually he does get as much puss. Or he would. Oh, no. God, okay. Gwent is like shittier Hearthstone.
I know. I've already played a bit.
Oh, have you? You can play Gwent with like 9,000 people. It's like a...
I don't know.
It's an okay game. But, yeah.
It's something that I just don't see myself playing much, though.
You don't need to. I think that they actually make you do it in one quest. But I don't remember. Or I think it was like, you can do this or do like things in a different way, but Gwent was one of the options. I can't remember exactly. It's like a ways off, and it may not even be like an essential to the plot one. It's been a while.
Okay. So where am I going to want to...
Velen. I think the advanced tree is the only fast travel point you have.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited. Something even
Yeah, so this is Dandelion, but like when you run into him in the plot, this is not what he sounds like.
One time Ward had returned from afar, that she was in danger. He was to find her at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
Yeah, one of the reasons I like kind of running more is I find combat on the horse is a little...
Oh, combat on the horse is the worst. I also did
Yeah.
significantly more running. The only time I was doing... I ever used the horse was if I like when I wasn't trying, like specifically I didn't want to fight, I just wanted to get from like point A to point B. Or I think that there's certain times where like success or failure of missions is timed, so it's like you need to fucking get there, and I use the horse. But outside of that, yeah, I mostly did running as well. Especially because like there are certain things that will make you fall off the horse during combat, and it's like, oh, like I just don't want to deal.
Well, yeah, I know. Like if your horse's fear goes all the way up, it's
he bucks you.
Yeah.
He's a dick like that. Alright. Velen 5 days later. So yeah, this is kind of where the game starts to open up a little bit. It's a little less linear. Like you still had like options to do side quests before, but you were kind of contained in like the White Orchard area. Whereas now it's like things kind of open up a little bit. Like you still have like your overarching like we need to go find Ciri quest, but you can kind of fuck around a lot more from here on out. And you see what they call this place Hangman's Tree.
Kid, no kidding.
It's
hey,
lovely
Logan
here.
Paul, you nearby?
Oh, that was in terrible taste.
And I can't stand that dude.
No, I think he's the worst. This was a conversation that I had. This is just like, hey, this is the part where you can start playing the expansions. But yeah. Oh yeah, so there's actually a faster. You were doing like the jog on the horse. There's like a sprint mode for him as well. If that was the speed that you were moving at, you definitely are faster if you run. But there's a faster mode than that. I was talking with Ryan a little bit about this, that like, because obviously at this point we have not broken into a gigantic fan base yet. We have a small but fairly loyal fan base with the people that we know, and obviously other people come across our stuff. But I've always been like, when I measure success, you don't necessarily have to be like viewership is not indicative of ability. Like Logan Paul has significantly more viewers than we do on every video he makes. I think that the video quality that he puts out is trash. Like the production quality may or may not be okay, but like he's obviously a shit tier human being, and like what he makes is like you're just a shitty guy making shitty videos, but people notice them. Like I would argue to the death that the videos that we make are better videos. Maybe not as much with these ones because we're still kind of figuring out the formula for the showcases, and like kind of it's a lot different than doing like a 2-hour show or a 3-hour show over doing like a 30 minutes and occasionally we go long and it's 40 minutes or whatever, right? But and like doing snapshots of games rather than like long form playthroughs of them like we do for the most part. Like it's there's a learning curve that goes in with those things because we've never done it before, but for the most part, like when we're on our game, I think that we put out quality content that's worth watching and people would be into, whereas I don't think that the size of your audience is indicative of the quality of the entertainer that you are. Basically, the whole point of getting at is fuck Logan Paul. Everything he makes is trash. It doesn't matter how many viewers he has. Nobody needs to see your... Like, did you ever see the footage that was like the rest of his trip to Japan, where he was just like completely disrespectful to everybody else in the culture, like bought shit and like placed it like oh, I bought a fish, and then he just puts the fish on the back of someone's car. I was like, what? Like, who do you think you are? What about
also,
your
how
life?
do I go faster?
I think like this, whatever the sprint button. Oh, gallop, press X twice.
Okay, I did that. Right, there we go.
There you go.
It doesn't go for long though.
I think you have to like press X twice and hold on the second one. I think your horse stamina starts going down. That's like when you know that you're doing it right. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, something's following you. I also find it weird when people name animals after a different animal. Like naming your horse Roach. I guess, you know, roaches are like an insect rather than an animal, but same kind of idea applies. Also, you are in a little bit of trouble here because I don't think you have any healing items. I'd probably just book it for that inn. Yeah. Be on your guard crossing that river because those drowners are no joke this early in the game.
Yeah, no, I found that one out the hard way.
Yeah. You get to a point where they're like kind of just giant pussies, but that is not this point.
I'll not give her up. Not on me life.
Hello, sir. I'll take your finest room.
Looking for a man.
But first, I'll put out your candle.
What do you want with him?
Talk to him.
What about him?
Give me a bottle of something strong.
You gotta go. I'll open the back way for you.
I mean,
Yeah, that just seems like a badass option.
Innkeep. Vodka.
I feel like that guy's armor looks janky as shit.
Brave warrior looks like. Got 2 swords, see?
Oi, great boy. What's the point of having 2 swords?
Wonder if he keeps an extra prick in his trousers too.
You fucking deaf. Gonna say who you are? Or do I need to loosen your tongue with me knife?
I don't think that's gonna go well for you. Also, your armor looks like shit.
I mean.
Yeah, that's a better option.
How about I buy everybody around?
Why would you?
Got the coin for it. Somebody's there.
I don't drink with strangers.
Okay.
Around, we don't do this anymore. Then we go our separate ways.
Which way would yours be?
Is it just me, or is that none of your fucking business?
Oh!
Hearing things. You're right. He meant to insult. I'll have to kill him then.
I'm pretty sure there's no way to avoid this being a fight. I always enjoy fighting humans in this game because it's like I've always been pretty big on like I enjoy fighting a lot of small enemies over like big enemies. And humans just, you know, they're a lot more predictable than the monsters.
Any idea what the Baron will do when he learns of this butchery? The village! He'll tear it apart before anyone can say it was some wandering mutant done it. An iron fist he's got.
Where's Hendrik?
You deaf? Understand what I'm saying? Baron won't let this stand.
Calm down. Your Baron's no idiot. Seriously doubt he'll think you locals cut his men down with farming implements. Now where's Hendrik?
Man lives in Heatherton,
Don't know where it is.
other side of the hill. Looked that away this morning, saw a strange glow. Imperials on the raid, perhaps.
I'm sure that he's doing just fine.
Odd fellow. Arrived from who knows where and for no apparent reason. Shacked up with a widow whose husband was stabbed and scrapping around.
Baron's men don't like strangers.
Aye, he stays out of their way. Always seems to know when they're coming. Always manages to disappear.
Thanks, Innkeep.
Go out the back. Warn the Baron's men in the village.
No need to worry about me.
I'd rather you not make any more trouble for yourself or us both.
Fair enough. Oh, gotta loot those corpses, Chris. Be disrespectful not to.
It's true.
Oh. Hello, bandit.
I'd never dare.
Oh, you have like 1 health.
Hair white as milk.
I really hope he didn't bring friends. Nice dodge. Oh, he brought friends.
I don't know if that helps at all.
I don't think so. Maybe just check your inventory and see if you have any healing items. Bold. Yeah, let's get drunk. I don't know if you end up getting like worse off drunk, but maybe he'll sell you gear. I don't know. I have no idea. There's also a corpse that's still behind you. Like the red X's on the map are unlooted corpses. I think they are anyway. I could be mistaken. Oh yeah, no, that is. There you go. Those long swords sell for pretty good value, so. Well worth it. And yeah, you are, shall we say, low on health. Igni works really well on humans, by the way. Oh, he's got a crossbow, I think. I'm genuinely unsure. You might just be able to run by him, to be honest, but... I'm not sure if he actually died from that or not. Oh, he definitely did not. Yeah, I think you're hitting the horse. So yeah, this seems like the best decision. Oh, yeah, the food and drink. I think you can eat that raw meat. And if you hold up, I think it switches them. Yeah. And then you press it. Yeah, it's better than no health, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah. That place is far enough away that you'd want your horse, but you might run into more guards. Be careful, those red spots on the map are threats. I'm not sure if they're guards or animals, but... Oh. Well, now we know which one it was. Could have some more meat on him. Rip. Let's hope they have more meat on them. Yep. Check the other one too. Yeah, there you go. That probably ends up being net positive for you for health. Yeah. I don't think that we're making it all the way to town before SharePlay stops, so this is probably a good place to call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, well, it's like 500 units away, and you're going to end up running into guards and stuff. Or not, maybe not guards, but like monsters, like, that will slow you down. So, yeah, that'll do it for Witcher 3, Chris. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. It's sadly very late, so
Yeah,
we're
definitely
both a little bit.
lower energy. Yeah, I think we kind of got going. It was a little bit of a slower start for sure, but it is late night, and we kind of got stuck recording today because usually I like to do these on Wednesday, but today's Thursday, and if I wait until tomorrow, then if anything happens on Saturday, it's not up on time for Sunday, and we have not missed a video in a year, and I don't want to really start now, but that'll do it for this episode. Next time, I'll be playing something which I have decided on, but I'm not going to tell any of you guys until next week. But thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next Sunday Showcase.